Welcome, welcome, deep divers. Today, we are really plunging headfirst into a film that didn't just scare people. It fundamentally, ripped up the rule book for cinema. We are talking, of course, about Alfred Hitchcock's absolute masterpiece from 1960, Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't just like your standard horror film. It's this deep psychological thriller that just sends shockwaves through the whole industry. You still feel its influence today, really.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at today?
Well, we've got a great set of sources, critical analyses, behind-the-scenes stuff, detailing everything, the plot, the characters, those really unsettling themes, and its massive legacy.
Yeah, it's undeniable.
Our mission, like always, is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this completely groundbreaking work. We'll focus on those famous twists, the revolutionary techniques, and that incredible psychological depth.
Let's unpack this.
It really is remarkable how Psycho just stands out, such a landmark film. It's this masterful blend, isn't it? Suspense, pure shock, and this really unnerving dive into psychological horror. Nothing had quite been done like that before, not with that precision.
No, not at all.
It's just a testament to Hitchcock's genius, really, how
Yeah.
he could manipulate audience expectations, their emotions. And while it's fiction, its origins add this extra unsettling layer. It came from Robert Bloch's novel, right, which was loosely based on the real crimes of Ed Gein.
Right, Ed Gein. That adds a whole different dimension.
It does. Gein, the murderer who exhumed bodies, made trophies. That kind of horror subtly echoes in the film, even if it's not explicit. It gives it this grim, real-world undercurrent.
Yeah, but
And the immediate impact it had. Unprecedented. People were genuinely disturbed, fainting even. And its influence on filmmaking since then is just immeasurable. It really set a new course.
absolutely. And that impact, that visceral feeling, it starts right away, doesn't it? Almost from the first frame. We open in Phoenix, Arizona. Meet Marion Crane. Seems like an ordinary secretary.
Mm-hmm. Just everyday life.
But Hitchcock immediately gives us this glimpse into her, let's say, less than ordinary situation. She's in this secret relationship with Sam Loomis. Kind of strained.
Yeah, you feel the tension there.
And we quickly find out it's money trouble. Financial difficulties really putting pressure on them. And that's not just background, is it? It's the key setup, the fuse, really.
It's the motivation. It drives everything that follows.
Then comes that moment. Marion's boss trusts her to deposit $30,000 in cash. That's a huge sum, especially back then. Life-changing money.
Right there in her hands.
And here's where Hitchcock just grabs you. She makes this snap decision. Steal the money. Just like that.
Impulse. Desperation, maybe.
Maybe. But what does that immediate moral jump do to how we see her? We're introduced, maybe we relate a bit, and then bam, major crime. We're forced to grapple with her choices right from the start.
It completely subverts the idea of a straightforward hero.
Totally. And her escape. It's immediately filled with tension. You see her paranoia building. She's jumpy, looking over her shoulder.
You feel it with her.
And that scene with the highway patrolman, oh, it's incredibly tense. His sunglasses just reflecting her nerves. It feels like he knows.
Like a spotlight on her guilt. It puts you right there in the car with her, feeling that dread.
Then she swaps the car, trying to cover her tracks. Another desperate move, cutting ties. The whole sequence feels frantic, claustrophobic almost. Builds this huge sense of isolation around her.
Yeah, the close-ups, the pacing, it works perfectly.
And finally, caught in this massive rainstorm, she deliberately turns off the main highway and stumbles upon the Bates Motel. Secluded. Off the beaten path.
The perfect place to hide, or so she thinks.
But the minute she pulls off that main road, there's just this overwhelming sense of foreboding.
Yeah.
Deepening isolation. It just pulls you into her state of mind.
It's such a masterful psychological setup, isn't it? Hitchcock establishes this tension, this distress, before she even gets to the motel.
Exactly.
We're watching her unravel. The money isn't just cash. It's this catalyst for her anxiety. He shows us the immediate suffocating weight of that temptation.
And the consequences.
Right. And it's brilliant because it makes you, the audience, confront your own feelings. You might empathize with her situation initially.
Yeah, who hasn't felt financial pressure?
Precisely. But then we become these complicit observers of her guilt, watching her make these increasingly desperate choices.
Yeah, you're kind of rooting for her and horrified at the same time.
And that ties right into this theme of voyeurism that runs through the film. Hitchcock isn't just telling a story. He puts us in this uncomfortable, complicit spot. We're watching Marion's struggle, her fear, her flight, often through camera angles that feel like we're peeking, like we shouldn't be looking.
Like that opening shot peering into the hotel room.
Exactly. Or later, the peephole in Norman's office. It actively draws the viewer in, makes us uncomfortable peeping Toms.
It really does.
So it raises this question. How does the film immediately mess with our expectations by starting with a morally ambiguous protagonist? Most films give you a clear hero. Psycho just throws you into Marion's messy situation.
Yeah, no easy answers.
It prepares you for a story where nothing is quite what it seems. No one is safe, not even the person you think is the main character.
And just when you think, okay, maybe this is a crime thriller about Marion getting caught or getting away,
Yeah.
we meet Norman Bates.
Enter Norman.
Yeah, he's this shy, kind of awkward young guy managing the motel, and he lives in that incredible house up on the hill behind the motel. So imposing, almost gothic looking.
That house is practically a character itself.
It really is.
Mm.
And he lives there with his mother, unseen but clearly domineering. The visual contrast alone, the modern flat motel office versus that dark, decaying Victorian house, is brilliant design.
It screams repression, decay.
Absolutely. It visually represents Norman's inner world, that suffocating relationship, even before we really understand it.
It sets such an unsettling mood.
Then there's that dinner scene in the parlor. Such a key moment. Masterclass in building tension just through dialogue.
Oh, absolutely.
Marion and Norman have this awkward but weirdly intimate conversation. Life, loneliness, mental illness. It's all packed with subtext.
Every line feels heavy.
And Norman talks about his mother with this eerie devotion. A boy's best friend is his mother. Famous line. But it's laced with hints of emotional abuse, this unhealthy bond.
You feel her presence even though she's not there, weighing on him.
Totally. How does this build his character? It makes him seem sympathetic, almost a victim, but you also get these chills. Something's deeply wrong here. Foreshadowing, big time.
He's tragically complex right from that scene.
And what's amazing is that this unsettling talk actually makes Marion change her mind.
Right, the moment of potential redemption.
Yeah. Moved by Norman's apparent vulnerability, his loneliness, she decides she's going to return the money. Right or wrong.
You think, okay, maybe this is where the story turns. Maybe she gets out.
Exactly. A redemption arc. But Hitchcock, well, he has other plans.
And that's where his genius for psychological manipulation just hits you full force. Norman's duality. It's masterful. Anthony Perkins plays it so perfectly.
He really does.
He presents as this vulnerable, almost pathetic guy. You feel sorry for him despite those little hints of darkness. The fidgeting, the stutter, the awkwardness. It draws you in.
Makes him seem harmless almost.
Yes, and the way he talks about his mother is unsettling, sure, but his overall demeanor is so meek that the audience, well, you get drawn into his world. It creates this false sense of security, almost dangerous, really.
You let your guard down.
Exactly. Stepping back, that whole interaction, that dinner scene, it's precisely setting the stage for the audience to lower their guard. We start to empathize with him, maybe even forget Marion's crime for a second.
Yeah, you focus on Norman's strange life.
Which makes the shock that's coming, the narrative bombshell, even more profound. We're lulled into thinking we know where this is going. Maybe Marion escapes. Maybe she gets caught. And that's when Hitchcock just pulls the rug out brutally.
He pulls it out with absolute vengeance, defies every single expectation. And this brings us to the shower scene.
Iconic doesn't even cover it.
No. It's probably one of the most studied, analyzed sequences in film history. Marion's in the shower, vulnerable, washing away the guilt, maybe literally cleansing herself.
Water running seems safe.
And suddenly, that shadowy figure, female silhouette behind the curtain. The attack is just rapid, brutal, terrifying, quick, shocking cuts, stabbings.
And the music? Bernard Herrmann's score?
Oh, the screeching violins.
Yeah.
It's as much a part of the horror as the visuals. Like a scream itself, and then Marion collapses, dead in the tub.
Gone. Just like that.
It's still shocking how unexpected her death is. She's our protagonist. We've spent half the film with her. Killed off halfway through.
Completely blew narrative conventions out of the water. Audiences were stunned. People fainting, screaming. It sounds apocryphal, but it happened.
And it's still effective because it breaks that fundamental rule. No one is safe. It leaves you totally unbalanced.
Utterly disoriented.
Then Norman finds the body. Panics. And crucially, he seems to believe his mother did it.
Right. His immediate assumption.
And we see him, totally distressed, meticulously clean everything up, wrap the body, put it in her car, sink it in the swamp out back. It's this chilling sequence. shows a different Norman, desperate, terrified, but also covering up this horrific act.
That methodical cleanup is almost as disturbing as the murder itself.
It really is.
The shower scene's impact, it just can't be overstated. It wasn't just a scene, it was a cinematic event. Changed horror forever. The genius of that rapid editing, over 70 cuts in 45 seconds? It fragments the violence. You don't get a clear look.
No continuous shot of the knife actually hitting.
Exactly. It disorients you. Your mind fills in the blanks, which is often worse than seeing it explicitly. That implied violence is so much more psychologically impactful than gore would have been.
Absolutely. Plus Herman's score.
The shrieking strings, mimicking screams, it's an assault on the senses. What's fascinating is how it became instantly iconic and just redefined cinematic violence and suspense. Terror through suggestions, sound, editing, not just showing stuff.
Groundbreaking.
And like you said, killing the protagonist halfway through, unprecedented, a direct challenge to Hollywood storytelling. So audacious. Hitchcock knew what he was doing.
That whole no late admissions policy.
Right. He wanted everyone to experience that shock together, unspoiled. It leaves the audience adrift. Who's the story about now? What happens next? You're hooked, desperate for answers. It's pure psychological disorientation.
And that disorientation, that pivot, leads us perfectly into the next act. The investigation.
Yeah.
The mystery deepens. Marion doesn't come back, obviously. So her sister, Leila Crane, starts to worry.
Naturally.
Leila seems tenacious, very concerned. She teams up with Sam Loomis, Marion's boyfriend, to figure out what happened. The focus shifts to them, and we're right there with them, seeking answers.
A new quest begins.
And at the same time, enter Arbogast. He's this private investigator, hired by Marion's boss to track down the missing $40,000.
The money is still out there. Still a factor.
Arbogast is sharp, professional. His investigation leads him pretty quickly to the Bates Motel.
Yeah.
He's astute, and he picks up on Norman's weirdness right away.
Especially about the mother.
Exactly. Norman refuses to let him see her, claims she's an invalid. It's a huge red flag. Something is definitely off, and Arbogast senses it. He's not going to just let it go.
He pushes.
He does. And then, Arbogast's demise. He goes back to the motel determined, sneaks into the house. That creepy staircase.
The high-angle shot makes him look vulnerable.
Totally. He's heading up the stairs and bam! Attacked from above. Again, a shadowy figure, looks like a woman, just like Marion's murder.
Another shock, another character gone.
It just ramps up the mystery around Mother, leaves us with more questions. The body count's rising. Will anyone figure this out?
Hitchcock is just masterfully escalating the suspense here. It's almost unbearable. He uses the investigation Arbogast, then Leila and Sam as this relentless engine driving towards the reveal.
Keeps you on edge.
Every clue just pulls us deeper into the maze. And that pattern emerges. Another victim, another attack by this shadowy woman. It powerfully reinforces the mystery of Mother. She becomes this incredibly menacing presence, even unseen. The prime suspect.
Absolutely. She's the Phantom Menace.
Which leads to that question. How does the film manage to shift focus so effectively? From Marion to the investigators, keeping us totally invested after our protagonist is gone. It's amazing storytelling.
It really is.
By bringing in new characters actively searching for answers, Hitchcock creates a new hook, new eyes for us to see through.
Yeah.
It prevents the story from fizzling out and actually intensifies our curiosity. It becomes less who killed Marion and more, what the hell is going on in that house with Mother?
Yeah, the mystery evolves.
It's a brilliant pivot. Few films even try it, let alone pull it off this well. You're glued to the screen until the very end.
And that pivot takes us right into the heart of it all. The inner sanctum.
Yeah.
The truth. Arbogast is missing now. Leila and Sam realize they're on their own. Got to take matters into their own hands.
The stakes are higher than ever.
Meanwhile, Norman is visibly stressed. You can just see him fraying at the edges. His nervous habits are amplified. And in this desperate move, he decides to move his mother to the fruit cellar. For safety, he claims.
Which is, of course, a huge clue, even if it seems protective on the surface, guiding us downstairs.
Right, towards the truth. So Leila, showing incredible guts, decides to sneak into the house while Sam distracts Norman at the motel office.
Such a tense sequence. We know the danger now.
Oh, it's agonizing. We know Mother isn't just an invalid. Leila creeps through those dusty, eerie rooms. Every creak, every shadow is terrifying. The camera puts us right there with her, nervous, cautious.
You're holding your breath?
And then the fruit cellar. She goes down there, that dark, dank space, the psychological basement, and she finds it, the truth.
The big reveal.
Mrs. Bates isn't just unseen. She's a corpse, mummified, sitting in a chair. It's just this grotesque, shocking image. pulls the rug out from under every theory. A horror beyond just murder.
Such a visceral moment.
Unforgettable.
Totally unforgettable.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, the fruit cellar itself is so symbolic, isn't it? Why the cellar?
Yeah, what does that represent?
Well, cellars are where things are hidden, stored away. Roots, foundations. Psychologically, it represents the deepest, most repressed parts of the mind, where the darkest secrets are buried.
The subconscious, almost.
Exactly. It's the perfect metaphor for Norman's own buried madness, the decaying foundation of his psyche, and the tension built as Leela explores. It's almost unbearable because we're going down into those depths with her. Makes the discovery hit even harder.
It really does. And right at that moment of discovery, boom, the climax explodes.
Here comes Norman. But it's not the Norman we know. He bursts in, dressed as mother wig, dress, everything wielding a knife. His personality is just completely transformed. It's pure terror. The truth clicks. This fractured mind is the killer.
That image, it's seared into cinematic history, the monster revealed.
Absolutely terrifying. Thankfully, Sam arrives just in time, saves Leela, stops Norman's rampage. The immediate threat is over, but the psychological horror that just deepens.
The sheer shock of seeing Norman as mother, it's a masterstroke. It confirms our fears about the killer, but reveals this much deeper, more disturbing psychological horror. It's not just murder, it's a psychotic break made manifest.
A mind completely fractured.
And the film gives this chilling glimpse into what was then called split personality, now dissociative identity disorder. Perkins's performance shift is just incredible, from meek to terrifying in an instant.
He nails it.
And what's fascinating is just that raw visual impact. Norman in the dress with the knife, instantly iconic, cemented him as one of cinema's most terrifying and complex villains. It's the payoff for all the hints, the tension, the misdirection, a punch audiences had never felt before.
So the horror, the reveal, now comes the explanation. Trying to make sense of it all.
A psychiatric breakdown.
Right. At the police station, a psychiatrist steps in, lays out Norman's condition, peels back the layers of his madness, explains the how and the why.
We get the backstory.
Yeah. Norman murdered his mother and her lover years ago. Intense pathological jealousy. It's like a Freudian nightmare played out. Domineering mother, repressed desires. It taps into those deep anxieties.
It's like psychological underpinnings.
But it gets worse. After the murders, he developed a severe split personality, dissociative identity disorder. His mind fractured into two personas, meek Norman and dominant murderous mother.
A coping mechanism gone monstrously wrong.
To deal with the trauma and guilt, he literally kept her around, preserved her corpse, locked away in the house, and then he started impersonating her, becoming her.
Chilling.
The mother side, fueled by jealousy and control, committed the murders whenever Norman felt attracted to women. Mother saw them as threats, as rivals. It's this systematic breakdown of a mind twisted by trauma, obsession, repression.
Which raises an important question, doesn't it? How does this explanation actually deepen the horror rather than diminish it?
That's a good point. You'd think explaining it might lessen the fear.
But it doesn't. It makes him tragically terrifying. It grounds the horror in this disturbing, almost understandable psychological pathology. It moves beyond just a slasher villain into something far more unsettling because its roots are in trauma, even if the result is extreme.
It makes him human in a terrifying way.
We see his actions stem from profound trauma, that overwhelming maternal domination that literally consumed him, destroyed his identity. He's not just a monster. He's this damaged person whose internal conflict became an external nightmare. And what's fascinating is that tragic dimension it adds. He's almost an innocent victim of his own mind, consumed by his mother's presence and the trauma, so he became her. Her voice, her rage.
And became a killer in the process.
Transformed into a remorseless killer, driven by this internal battle he couldn't control. It's a chilling look at the breaking point, how repression can unravel the self. Leaves you deeply uneasy about the fragility of the mind.
And that unease carries right through the final haunting scene. Norman's breakdown is complete.
The final image.
He's sitting in the jail cell, now fully possessed by Mother, eerily calm, still. The shy Norman is gone. Just this chilling, dominant force, and emptiness in his eyes.
And that inner monologue.
In his mother's voice. They'll see, I wouldn't even harm a fly. Seals it. The fly lands on his hand, he doesn't move. Confirms Mother is fully in control.
That final line, delivered with such calm conviction, it perfectly captures the total collapse, the chilling denial of the mother persona, absolute delusion.
Terrifying.
And deeply ironic, right? Wouldn't harm a fly, while a fly symbol of decay, sits on him. It solidifies Norman Bates as this cultural icon, this symbol of dread. Because the horror is real, but the character is lost in madness. Unforgettable, terrifying, a permanent fixture in our collective nightmare landscape.
So after digging deep into this story, the psychology, what does it all mean? What are the core themes that make Psycho still resonate so powerfully?
Let's distill it down.
Okay, first, duality of human nature. Norman embodies this perfectly. Innocent victim, remorseless killer. It really messes with our ideas of good and evil, doesn't it? Blurs the lines, suggests the monster can hide behind the most normal face.
Absolutely, that ambiguity is key.
Then repression and madness. The whole film dives into psychological trauma and its awful consequences. Norman's actions come directly from repression, guilt, that suffocating mother figure. It was groundbreaking for its time, studying how a mind breaks under pressure, way before mental illness was often shown with this kind of depth in movies.
A terrifying exploration of the breaking point.
Next, voyeurism and guilt. We talked about this. Hitchcock uses the camera like a voyeur, implicates us, the viewers.
Puts us in uncomfortable spots.
Yeah. Watching Marion's crime, peeking with Norman, witnessing the horror, we become these complicit observers, forced to confront our own fascination with the forbidden.
Makes the experience much more active and unsettling.
And finally, the big one for its initial impact. Subverted expectations. Killing Marion halfway through.
Yeah.
Radical. Shattered the rules.
Blew the audience's minds.
It showed filmmakers could genuinely manipulate and surprise audiences in profound ways. Changed how stories could even be told.
And zooming out, these themes aren't just, academic points. They still hit hard today. Psycho wasn't just entertainment. It was a shock to the system. The twists, the implied violence, often more terrifying because it was implied the psychological depth.
It was intense.
The shower scene obviously set a new standard, but its legacy is way bigger than one scene. It really popularized the whole slasher genre, didn't it?
Oh, definitely. You see its DNA everywhere.
Halloween, Friday the 13th. The psychologically disturbed killer, the isolated setting, suspense over gore. Psycho laid that groundwork. It redefined horror and suspense, changed narrative structures, character types in the genre, how audiences felt genuine dread.
And it got Oscar nominations.
4, including Best Director, Best Supporting Actress for Janet Leigh. That proved a horror film could be high art, a rare feat back then.
It truly is a testament to its genius. Broke barriers, set precedents. Norman Bates is just iconic, synonymous with terror. The Bates Motel itself is this symbol of dread, psychological entrapment.
More than just a setting.
Way more. This wasn't just a hit movie, it was a masterpiece that changed horror forever. Taught us the scariest monsters hide in plain sight, or worse, inside our own heads.
Waiting to get out.
So we've covered a lot. Unraveled Psycho's layers, Marion's decision, the groundbreaking structure, Norm's horrifying secret, its revolutionary impact.
Yeah.
It's clear why it remains a cornerstone film.
Still disturbs and fascinates.
Its complex look at the psyche, those timeless themes, they still hit home decades later, a true testament to Hitchcock's mastery.
Which really leads us to wonder, doesn't it? Given Psycho's continued power to disturb, to surprise, even after all this time, what does that fascination tell us about ourselves? About the human psyche?
That's a deep question.
Maybe it's just we're drawn to the unknown, the taboo, the fragility of the mind. Maybe we're drawn to that unsettling truth that the greatest terrors might actually lie within us. In cinema, films like Psycho give us this unique, safe space to confront those truths, to explore the darker side of being human. What do you think?
That is a truly chilling thought to leave everyone with, but a profound one. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Psycho. We really hope this makes you want to rewatch it with fresh eyes. Look for those details, the psychological games, the themes we talked about. Or maybe check out other films influenced by its incredible, terrifying legacy. See how its innovations live on. Until next time, stay curious and maybe keep the lights on tonight.